Right. Height wall. Oh, another one. Kurari 10182. Cool. Hello to you. Ow. Use the camera a little bit. It's probably a bit better. Alright. So we've got to crimp these ones up. So that one's ready. On the chassis, got this little lot. There you go. So that will be the tail lights. These must be the side skirt lights, I guess. Yeah, it can't be anything else. So that's those. That, and I need some pin header in there. Right. Peel the antenna off. Blue tack residue. That'll do. Alright, let's have the board off. There's our board. So the first job then is these pins or holes down here need pin header soldering in, which is this stuff. So that's always good for a laugh. So I need 4 strips of 8. When the final version of these actually go on sale, the pin header will already be soldered in, of course, all ready to plug lights into. There we go. Move that out of the way just in case I hit it with a soldering iron. Pop that in there. Hold it in with a fingernail. Solder a couple of pins. That'll be enough to hold it in. Do the one next to it. Okay. Solder the rest. Looks alright. Pop the next pin header in. Hold it in place. Tin up the ends. Same on the other one. Hold it. Solder the rest of the pins. Go. Oh, another one. Rodgar 1107. Hello. Oh, soldered those two together. That's not good. Too much solder. That one's a bit daggy as well. That looks alright. Some alcohol and a kitchen towel. Oh, another one, two. RY18, hello, and Chris Chevy 1990. Do you ever actually leave? Because every time I look in the users in chat, you always seem to be there. Not that I'm complaining, obviously. Just curious. Oh, and Scania 21, hello. That all looks pretty good. Right, I need some cable. What do I do with that? It's in a box somewhere. It's a problem when you tidy things up, you can never find anything. Where's that gone? Can't have gone far. Ah, there it is, by the door. Bit of this stuff should do. A little bit thin. What else should we got? Ah, that looks better. Nice bit of silicone insulation. I don't know, I watched to learn. I'm building a MAN TGX and a King hauler. I need some tips. Build it and paint it. Nice. Well, I've got the Grand Hauler and my dad's got a MAN TGX. So they're pretty close. Nice tracks. There's a ridiculous amount of stuff you can do to them. Even if you just buy off the shelf stuff. Or off China shelves anyway. Right, so now we need to solder onto the power and ground pads. If I can remember which is which, or if I can see which is which. That's positive, yeah. Solder on the pads. Oops, that's not good. The cutters have gone through the insulation. Do that differently. Sticky tape. Use a knife and very lightly press and give it a roll. And pull the end off. There we go. RC Nitro Buggy and car are fun when they don't need new clutch. You know, I don't think I've ever actually worn one out. Or did I? No, I did. That was the old Traxxas T-Max. So what was it? TRX 15 engine? They were always quite good. Bit unreliable though. Seem to remember in hot weather they were a bit temperamental. Newer ones are better. The was it 2.5R or something? I think that's what it was. One that came with the Revo and everything after. They were alright. Let's get rid of that mouse. Keeps highlighting things. I have a RC Volvo from Rastar. Building it like you build a Ford and Range Rover. Oh, nice. Quite a lot of those get turned into Vossa or police trucks. One of my friends, Justin, does a lot of them and then sells them on. It's got flashing lights and sirens and all that kind of stuff. Pretty neat. Yeah, that looks alright. So now I've got the power and ground, so we can actually power the thing when we get there. I'll need to get spliced into the battery connector on the ESC when the time comes. It's just easier to solder it when the board's not attached to the truck. So we can put this back in. There we go. I just don't have the 3D printer for the parts that turns the wheel, and you don't know where to get where you got the ECU finish. Oh, the ESC. Good old eBay. I can't remember the current rating, but if you search for whatever it is, 20 amp ESC or something like that, usually it pops up. There's one. Got one behind me. Surprise, surprise. There we go. And it doesn't say on the packet, that's useful. No, completely blank, but you want one of these anyway. If I change camera, there we go. Oh, why doesn't this thing ever want to focus? Put my hand in the way. There you go. So it looks like one of these. Yeah, they're ever so cheap. But I've got, what, 6, 7 of them? And they've all worked so far and I haven't had any catch fire, so that's a plus. And the Beck supplies enough juice that you can run, I know, half a dozen or so LEDs quite happily from the power supply, so it's fine. Just about good enough, does the job. No more than you need, no less. Come on, go back to the other one. There we go. I found a Tiger Tank 166 in a bin. Wow. Is it a Heng Long one or equivalent, or is it somebody else's? What do we need to do? Let's wire up the front bumper first, I think. Cut all the excess wire out, so it's all the same length. So we've got a nice easy starting point without bits of wire going everywhere. So remind me, how did I wire this up? We've got one power for either side and another power for the bar light, so that should be the 3 reds. Yep, now 2 of those are in parallel and the other is individual. So put your meter in diode mode. Let's see what we can find. So this is a problem with having all the wires pretty much the same colour. So it can be a bit of a faff trying to figure out what's connected to what if you leave it for a while. So if we look at this, oops, and put power on one of these, flip it over. That doesn't do anything, so that could be the bar light. Put power on one of the other ones. Oh, just about see the left indicator there. So that one, and that one should be connected. That one and that one. Aha! So those 2 are the common pair. So go back to diode. Oh, just all I wanted to see, I only use 4 of them. Pardon? Oh, missed a bit. Bought a broken Henglong Type 90 and made all the motors controlled by the previous 20 amp ESCs. Yeah. And that was one of the 1/16 scale ones. Interesting. Ah. That is the bar light pair. That makes the rest easy then. I'll just twist these up so I know they're together. So that's the bar light. These 2 are the same and they power all the rest, and then this little lot are the different lights. So we should have left and right indicator, main headlights, secondary headlights, whatever, fogs I guess, and then the inner and outer lights at the bottom. Yeah, that'll work. Right, time to crimp. Fun. Probably need some more terminals. Ow. be enough. What is the best to put in the King Hauler for light and sound? Well, I'm slightly biased. Although my boards aren't quite ready yet. There's the German board, begins with a B, I think it's German. Beer or something? Beer? I want to say beer. One beer? No. God, I can't remember the name. B-I-E-R? I think there's an A in there as well somewhere. But they're supposed to be very, very, very good, if a little bit complicated to set up. Like my boards, that they can take almost any number of sounds and combinations of things, so you can set up pretty much anything you like. That's the fella. B-E-I-E-R. No A in there. But they're supposed to be very good. Or of course, if you want to make your life easy, if you use one of the Tamiya boxes, MFC, I think is the current one, MFU, MFC, whichever it is, that they are extremely well supported. So if you go to a club or whatever and you're having trouble, there'll always be somebody there that can set you up with very little fuss. Servonaut, well, so I hear good things about Servonaut as well. They all have their pros and cons as far as I can tell. They're all, they all have certain things that they're not so good at and other things that they are good at. What you really need to do is talk with people on forums or good old Facebook, if that's your thing, and ask people that are actually using them. What I did is I went through all the specs of them and watched some videos of them in use and decided that none of them did quite what I wanted, which is why I made my own. But yeah, Servonaut I think are the ones that are a bit more modular, so you can get lots of little boards and boxes and stuff that all plug together rather than one big monolithic box of tricks. So how many have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's an odd number. I bet I haven't got a 7-way or 14-way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 6 is a big one. Well, that sucks. I guess we'll have 6 for the lights. And then a 2 for the light bar. Yeah, that should be alright. Everyone in the RC club says to me, get the Servonaut. Well, if there's lots of other people in your club that have a Servonaut, if you have trouble, there'll be lots of people to help you out, which is a major plus. Because being able to go somewhere with your truck and say help is a major thing. It's a good thing. With the what is it, Midlands Club, most of the guys there seem to be using the Tamiya boxes. The only trouble with that is that all the trucks sound the same. Right, need something to write down with. But I haven't got a pencil or a piece of paper. I suppose I could type it in on my phone. cutters, LEDs, wire. Not a single pen. Pencil, where is this? Oh no, wasn't there a pencil? Hunt the pencil. And if I disturb this shelf too much, it's all going to come crashing down. No, type it in on the phone. Wow. And I'll put servo Nor in the man and the Tamiya MFC in the King Hauler. That sounds like a good plan. There's a bit more space in the King Hauler cab, I think, towards the back, so you might be able to hide that. It's a bit trickier in the Euro cabs. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. Alright, yeah. Text document. There we go. So let's say channel 1. Let's make that headlights. Oops. 2. Let's make that, call that main lights, I suppose. What else have we got? So that's those two, and we've got indicators and those fogs. So we'll say 3. It's going to be fog A, 4, fog B, 5, L, Indy, 6, R, Indy, 7, bumper bar. Save it in there, I suppose. Scania, yeah, pin out. Okay, there we go. I had a night hauler, but my stepdad got it for Christmas from me with MFC and Carson 6-channel controller. Oh, that was good. Quite the gift. Do you both go to the same club with them? Need to figure out which is the headlights. That's the inner one. So those are the main ones. That's one of the fogs. Ah, that's the fella. That's the first one we want. Yeah, I got him interested in the hobby, and that's how it started. Nice. So, which club do you go to? I can't remember what country you're in now. I'm guessing with Chevy in the name, it's probably not UK. Could be though. We get some of the Korean-made Chevys. Oh, Norway. Huh. I'm sure you've said before, but I have a brain like a sieve. Usually takes me 6 months before I can remember somebody's name, let alone where they live. This guy was a Chevrolet van, and I want to make one in RC. Alright. What's going on with that music? Oh, there you go, it's fixed. There's pin 1. So that's going to go that way around, and ground will be on that side. Really need to start using the other crimp tool. This one's terrible. Shouldn't have to push these in like this. That's bad. Planning on building a recovery truck with hydraulic cylinders. Ah. Yeah, it's getting something when you're looking at hydraulics. It all starts getting rather complicated. And messy when it goes wrong. Do you know someone who can make a 1/14 Chevrolet van for me? I know a couple of people that can make plugs for vacuum form bodies. But that's normally like the 112 banger racing rather than anything super scale. Although, if you look on some of the 3D printing sites, there's an awful lot of scale bodies around these days. Though it probably cost a bit to get one printed. Well, if you can find one on Thingiverse or one of the other websites, that might be the easiest thing to do. Because there's quite a few around now. Various bodies, that is. And there's also quite a lot of little startup businesses that will 3D print stuff. Where's my headlights gone? That's the fog. Ah, there they are. Special roof. Yeah. I suppose that the trickiest bit would be the front, so the cab area. And you might be able to model the rest out of plasticard and stuff. I don't know, it depends how curvy it was. Because if it's like, I don't know, a transit van type shape, then that's pretty square. Oh, I hate this crimp tool. Right, what did I have next? Fog A. Fog A. It's probably going to be the inner one. Indicator. Oh, saw it flash. Ow, that's that one. You look up Chevrolet van G30 1990. Okay. Oops. If you look at that, copy, paste. Should we try and be clever and see if I can stream the window? What do we do? Source. Source, scene, source. Source. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. We do that, and now window. Oh, that looks like it's desktop. That one. Wow. Kind of see some of it. It goes off the bottom now because I've got a square screen. Oh, that's weird. I've got two cursors on the screen. Capture cursor off. There we go. Oh, hello. A-team. There's one downside to this because I can't see the chat at the moment. There we go. Oop. All the colours are wrong. Swap red and blue. Ah, there you go. With a high roof. The one at the top left there has got a slightly higher roof. Ooh, ambulance. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen, at the very least, the same front end on Thingiverse before. What is it? Yeah, okay. So if we do close enough. Let's see if the website works today. The one is purple with high roof on the top. Right. Okay. No results for G30. Chevy van? Oh. No. Got one that looks a lot older, like a post office van. I'm sure I've seen round ones before, but maybe the 3D files aren't free. There's some groups on Facebook that do 3D printing stuff, and they talk about custom prints and all that kind of stuff. So maybe if you investigate some of those, you might find something. Because some people don't like giving away their 3D files, so you have to actually pay for them, which is fair enough, I suppose, because it is a lot of effort. And then you can get them printed. Yeah, sure. There's probably a way in there somewhere, though. Let's see if my other crimp tool will crimp these ones. I seem to remember all it does is make a right mess of them. But we can try. That went well. Wait, tried to crimp it. I'll get one even if I have to 3D print it myself. That's the spirit. Learn to use a CAD package if you don't already, and get going. I've seen people do it manually where they start with 3 views and they trace the outlines and go from there. But it is a lot of work. It's a useful skill to have, though. Ooh, I think that one actually worked. Oh dear. No, still screwed it up. Went in. Yeah, I never used a 3D printer. It's actually easier than you'd think doing the 3D printing bit. The difficult bit is actually designing the 3D model. I think it's the difficult bit anyway. Some people take to that very easily. But the actual 3D printer bit is all quite simple. Especially if you get a ready-made printer like one of the Prussia, what is it, i3s or something? It's almost a case of you get it home, unpack it, and it prints. Almost as easy as your HP LaserJet or whatever. What have I got next? It's got to be the other fog light. Where'd it go? I forget how to use my phone. There we go. Fog B. So that should be the outer fog light. Now I just need to get myself a 3D printer. Yeah! Once you get one, you suddenly realise that all those little odds and sods that you used to be trying to make out of bits of plastic card and stuff like that, and then try and drill the holes in the right place and so on, are all suddenly a lot easier. Wouldn't want to go without one now. Saves an awful lot of time. If you missed the start of the stream, can you see it from the start later elsewhere? At the moment, I don't think, because I'm not an affiliate or anything on Twitch, I don't think it saves the VODs unless I'm missing something. However, I am recording this to a hard drive on my PC that I've got in the corner here, and what I'm trying to do is, from here on, actually from the previous one, is edit the stream down a little bit, just taking out some of the nonsense, and then uploading it to YouTube. So the stream I did on the Oster, was it Comanche, doing the lights on there, that's actually uploaded to YouTube, and I think, what is this music? Strange. 1:30 GMT in the afternoon tomorrow, I think it should go live. So this stream, hopefully, will get a similar treatment, and it will go up maybe next Wednesday? I don't know. See what else I need to do before I can edit it down a bit. Because it does take quite a long time to upload. But we haven't done all that much yet. That would be great. Really wanted to see you work on the lights and missed the start. Well in that case all you really missed was me soldering some pins on the board here. Otherwise it's just been me fighting with my slightly naff crimp tool. And then trying my nice crimp tool, only for it not to crimp fully, so that needs setting up, but I don't want to do that now. So I'll continue fighting with this thing. And it should be good enough. I have to find something I can press those ones in with, but no one will know, apart from you guys who are watching me do it. Alright, what's next? Left indicator. Oh, there's only 2 left, so that one. Yep, so that's the one with the end already partially stripped. Yeah, my problem with this one at the moment is the tension here isn't quite right. So when you do the final crimp, it doesn't quite close up enough. So if you tug a bit, the wire just comes straight out the end. But if I spend 10 minutes setting it up just the right way, it should be fine. This thing kind of works. It just screws up the wire insulation crimp a bit, like this. But it's not like it's going to be in a high stress environment, so it will do. If it was an off-road truck or something like that, where it gets shaken about a lot, then I'll be a bit more careful. But this will be fine. Or crush out shape, yeah. Now, we used to use some very expensive crimp tools, and they were electric. And you just pop the crimp in, pop the wire in, press a button, and it would whir a bit. And then a second or so later, it would click, and there was your crimp. But those things were like £1,000 each or something daft. I don't know. I haven't got those at home. Just got the old worn out manual ones. So this one must be the other indicator because it's the last one I haven't crimped in the main bundle. So that's all the grounds. Do you have any paint tips for the King Hauler? It's going to be painted metallic blue. Main tip is wait for the weather to warm up a bit. If you do it when it's cold and damp, especially if you leave it outside to dry, you'll get some rather crazy patterns in the paint. Use a good plastic primer. Clean everything. What else? A little bit of very light wet sanding with a bit of soap on the plastic to key it. Helps a lot too. Light even coats for the metallic paint. And then use a good lacquer over the top, preferably the same brand as the paint that you use. So that 1/16 truck you started looks good, but the state it arrived in was dire. Yeah, the packet was completely flattened. But my dad got one as well, which also came in a packet, and that was fine. And if you look at the the listings on AliExpress, quite a few people end up with the smashed up packets, and a few, unfortunately, it does damage to the internals. However, I can give you a sneaky peek because it's just behind me, I think. Yeah. So this is what it ended up looking like. Like this. So you can see that was the damaged corner, and it looks pretty good now. You'd almost never know. I did cheat a bit though, because I ended up gluing the doors to the body, so they're now solid part of the structure. But that's not a bad thing anyway, because if it rolls down hills and stuff, the doors would just fly open and snap off anyway. But it would have been nice if it came pristine, but I'm not that worried. I'm useless at bodywork. On the hauler I tried to fill around the sunroof and the connection holes and made a pig's ear out of it. Yeah, the trouble with the filler is if you just put the filler on and sand it, when you paint it, it doesn't seem to matter what you do, you always get like little patterns where the filler was. And it's quite a pain to get it all to go perfectly smooth. I usually tend to layer up a bit of primer and gloss paint on the top, let that fully dry, and then give it another good wet sand to smooth it out, and then do the proper paint job over the top. So using the gloss paint almost like a really fine filler, just to fill out the last little divots. It's probably not the best thing to do, but it works. I think part of the problem is an awful lot of the fillers shrink. Even the ones that say non-shrinking filler end up shrinking just a little tiny bit, which on a full-size car you'd probably never notice, but on a model it stands out like a sore thumb. That really came out good considering the state of it. Yeah, it's alright. I'm thinking it's probably going to get used, so I'm not going to be too worried about how it looks. Once it rolls down a few slopes and gets scratched up and chipped, it will be fine. Thinking of using milliput next time. You know, I've never actually used that stuff. I've seen it in every model shop in the land and every show. Everybody seems to be selling it, but I've never actually used it. I'm guessing it must be quite good since everybody sells it, but there's no guarantee really. I tend to stick with Isopon full-size car filler, not because it's the best, but because it's the one that I know what it will do when it goes hard. So I know what to do to make it look good afterwards. But I should probably try some different ones. I did have... oh, it was like Humbrol or something like that. They had a plastic filler, and that was quite good. It dries rock hard and does not shrink, but it needs a key or non-porous. Alright, that makes sense. So yeah, quite a lot of fillers like that. You have to kind of use a Dremel or something like that just to make a little thing for it to grip into. Tamiya putty, that's probably the stuff I'm thinking of. I tried some of that a long time ago and it was quite good. But you'd kind of expect that from a Tamiya thing. A crack would be enough but if I just put it on a flat surface it may pop off. Ah, I see. Wonder if you could put some sort of light adhesive on the plastic before you stuck the milli put in. Not sure what you'd use. Water based, so PVA maybe? Paste some PVA in and then put the milli put in. I had a few king haulers in my ears, and I never liked the hole in the top of the roof. Or the other halfway holes in the back. Yeah, it looks like some sort of strange sunroof, and it really doesn't fit with the rest. That holes in the back used to be, what is it, the volume control and everything for the old Tamiya electronics. I guess they just haven't updated the mould. Be quite good though, make a Mark II. Could have done that for the Grand Hauler, that would have been nice. Right, that's about it. I still need to push the connectors in the rest of the way, but I need something else to do that with. But that should work. So if I turn the overhead light off, if I go silent, I'm drinking my tea. Yeah, I need to get some more pretty soon. My mug is looking a bit empty. Right, so if I connect to one of the power pins, with that, I should be able to run down the outside and light these up. That one, there we go. That one, indicator, yep. And then on the other lead, you should get the bar light. Yay, that works. Turn this back on. could I buy from you the parts for the steering on the 1/14 Volvo? Well, I can do Range Rover, the big one. I can do the Land Rover and the Ford Mustang, and they're all different. So whether they fit the Volvo, I can't quite guarantee. However, if you contact me through the contact form at 74hc.co.uk, I can certainly print one of them out and send it to you. That's not a problem. What parts of those did I miss something about the build? Which parts in particular? .1/14 Volvo. Ah, the Volvo is not mine. That's Chris Chevy's that he's building, and he wants to do the 3D printed bits for the steering. Now, if all the bits were the same across all the Rastar vehicles, then it would be quite easy, but thus far every one that I've had has been slightly different, which is a bit naff, but there you go. So that's the front bumper done anyway, except for pushing the crimps in the rest of the way. I can do that in a minute. What we got next? Got the side skirts and the tail lights. Cool. Alright, I'm going to make myself another mug of tea. So let's see if I can put a video up or something, just for giggles. If I do my starting soon, and then get rid of that. There we go, that'll do. Alright, won't be long, probably be 5 minutes. I just saw it, I'm going to drink from my Scania cup. Nice. Oh, I just noticed my audio player's behind the chat. That's not good. QMMP. There we go. Oh, and the chat's slightly off. Hang on, just fix this somehow. Transform, edit, position X. That looks a bit better. Yeah, it's all square. Alright, back we go to that camera. Alright, let's do these ones first because they're easy. Oh, no, don't do those first. I need to push the crimps in. What was your first RC truck? Struth. My first RC car was a Kyosho Laser Alfa Romeo 155, I think. Yeah, that would have been the first. That was the first kit, certainly. But trucks. The first truck of this type was probably the Grand Hauler, come to think of it. But I've been doing the off-road trucks for a lot longer, the scale ones, where I got the F350 high lift pretty much when they first came out, and then one of the Axial SCX10s when they came out, which was a bit of a revelation. What else was there? Had a bunch of off-road buggies and stuff in between. Mardave 112. Well, that doesn't really count as a truck. Yeah, I'd always eyed up these things. Has that camera gone out of focus again? I think it has. Yeah, focus on my hand. Now focus on everything else. I think that's better. Then you just did a badass job on your first truck. Well, I've been building models and stuff forever, and it's an awful lot of the same skills. Because I've got the good old model trains downstairs and all the nerdy stuff. And of course I've been kit building model aeroplanes as well. So I've got the appropriate skills for mucking about with wood and glues. So you know, it all transfers across for all the different things. I just wish that the glow engines were a bit more acceptable these days, but there's so few places you can run them now without getting complaints with the noise. I just don't go out with them anymore, which is a shame. That gonna fit? Ooh, it's tight. Have a 2-pin. Two of those. Got the other one too. Put that the same way around as this one. Ground on that side. Goes in there. That goes in there. I'm going to be naughty and use a stainless steel end of a pencil. If I can shove them in with that. That one went in. Other one's being a bit of a stubborn bugger. There we go. Yeah, that's cool. Do you have all your RC still? Pretty much. A lot of them are rather broken and in the bottom of boxes, but I think, yeah, I got them all. In fact, I can see the Alfa Romeo body shell from the old Laser Alpha. Hang on, see if I can get it without stepping on something I shouldn't. or knocking something on the floor. There it is. Get that in there. Oh, I think it's got part of a chassis under it as well. It does. Oh, that's dusty. There you go. So that's the first one I did. And there's the remains of the chassis underneath. See, there's bits hanging off. But I did the absolute classic thing. And I very carefully, if I rub some of this away, hand painted all the rubbers and everything like that on the inside. Spent ages doing it. Put all the decals on. And then like 10 years later I noticed I put all the decals on the overspray film on the outside. So yeah. I think most people have done that at least once. But I've got cupboards and boxes and more boxes in the loft. You name it, they're all over the place. One day they might be worth something. You need to rebuild it again and make it nice. Yeah, I've often thought about it, but some of the parts for the old Kyoshos are a bit of a pain to get now. It used to be quite easy because we had good old hobby stores and they used to stock just about everything for a long time. But then we had trouble with the Kyosho distributor, which I think was Kyosho themselves actually. And it all fell apart. So it's a case of scanning on eBay now, and they're not that common. Because I've got the Nitro scale off-road truck in the cupboard as well. And I got that built to the point of running, but I never did the body. And I've had some quite impressive offers for the unpainted body on that. Because they're so rare now. Still got the box for that one too, actually. I'm thinking of having a fleet of cars and trucks, mostly Chevrolet and Ford. Well, a fleet is always a good thing to have. The more trucks, the better. Just don't fill your entire house like me, otherwise you don't have anywhere for anybody to sit when they come and visit. It just costs a lot. Yeah, it does. It does. But that's where time comes in handy, because if you keep doing this for enough years, you end up building up quite a collection gradually. And as long as you're a bit careful with what you buy and how much you spend on things, you generally don't need to sell that much. Sometimes it's good, but I'll fill my house and no one can stop me. That's the spirit. Just need to find yourself a suitable companion that also agrees with that philosophy. They do exist, but they are quite rare. You had one. All right. But we broke up. Plenty more fish, as they say. You just got to find one that thinks RC trucks are a good idea. And maybe video games as well. That would be a good combination. Even if it was just Nintendo, that would be fine. I'm not picky. How many wires have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be following column F. That's why I say that there's, what is it, like 7.5 billion people on the planet, so there's got to be one somewhere. That's my theory anyway. Might be wishful thinking, but you never know. I'd like to think I'm still young. I am still young, so I've got plenty of time. Right, let's do these ones then. So that's the front lights. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 channels. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So 1, we'll make that tail. Oops. 2. Make that reverse. 3. Left. Indie. Ooh, got 31 in there. 4. Oh, it got rid of the L. Oh, that was probably this. L indie. There we go. R indie. What else we got? We've got number plate light. 5 num plate. Oh, I need connectors for those as well. They need to be PWM, so I'll stick those in the middle somewhere. So let's call that 1 L skirt. 1 R skirt. So how many are we up to? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Cool. So there's still 2 light channels left over. Neat. Oh, I should save that. Save. What we got? Mine too, but I won't look around every corner. Hope I'll find them in an RC club. Yeah. It's not exactly a prime spot. But you never know your luck. So what do we want first? Tail lights. to there. That's indicator. That's the tail light. That one. How many do I need? Forgotten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 by 5. Is that 5? No, that's a 1 by something. Is that a 5? 5. Cool. There's pin 1. There's pin 1. So I want ground on that side. So we'll start there. Right, next we have reversing lights. The other probe is power. Right, which one is it? That one. Hey, first guess. Let's change. Straighten the end, give it a twist, fold it in half. Number 2. Next we have, wake up my phone, the left indicator. I'm going to cover that with my arm. Okay, so should be that one, I think. Ooh, something flashed. Yeah, that's the one. is the other indicator, right indicator, good. Power should be that one. Missed. Not doing much. Maybe it's that one. Yeah. Okay. In. Right, that just leaves a number plate light. Into there. So that's all the grounds in. I've just got the 2 power wires. One. I think that's the last crimp. There we go, all crimped up. Right, let's plug him in. I'm gonna have reed lights in the front of the king hauler. All the headlights come on white. I need to get them to red. Replace the LEDs. You can get bags of them. Like that. So if you look at how the ones are wired at the moment, and you make something up with fresh LEDs, you can make them any colour you like. If you get yourself a bag of 5mm red LEDs, you should be good to go. Just got to solder them up. Shouldn't be too difficult. Which one's which? Give it a go. LEDs and all that are pretty cheap. So that's right. So that one must be left. Okay. Feed that up there, maybe. So that wants to be in 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that wants to go on that one. That one should be the one below. Which means that should go onto that block. Something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, so that's the front lights. So now we need the radio connections, which means I need some cables. It should be on the desk behind somewhere. Under all this stuff. There's some of them, different lengths. Alright, this should be interesting. Cool, that's stuck on well. Can't get the radio off. Ooh, do I use servo tape? Must have done. Cool, vicious stuff. Okay. So that's channel 1, so that should be the steering servo. So we'll connect that to 1 on the light board. And we need a link from the light board across to the receiver on to channel 1. So now we've got channel 3. I think we need a transmitter on so I can see which channels do what. If there's any battery left. Now there's a way to get a monitor up. There it is. So that's the steering, I think. So that should be throttle is channel 3. Which I've got here. So that, I probably don't need the extension lead. Go into number 2. I need a lead from number 2. Across to channel 3 on here, so that's the throttle hooked up. What else have we got? Got the coupler. That'll be the skinny one. So channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 should be the gearbox. Yep. So that on the next one. Channel 6. I should really be recording this, as I'll never remember it. One. Steering. 2. Currently nothing. 3. Throttle. 4. Nothing. 5. Nothing. 6 was gearbox, which means 7 is coupler. We've got 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So on a coupler. So connect you to there. Plug in the link cable to there. So those are those ones. So what else have we got? We've got the horn and the light mode. So what should we do? We've got steering, throttle, I suppose beep, 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 beep. That'll work. We could do ink deck on there, maybe. Got buttons on the back, but I like that. Yeah, I think that'll do. So we'll make that horn, channel 2's horn. 2 horn 4 ink deck. Might need a longer cable. Give it a go though. So that's that one. And then this end. Ooh, might reach. This channel. 4. Copy that one. Ooh, it's a bit tight. Yeah. Yeah, those two need to be a bit longer. Was it that one and that one? Okay. Some longer leads. Forgotten already. That was 1. That's number 2. So you must be the other one, which is number 4. Now that should reach. There is space to spare. Cool, I have to tie these wires up a bit. All over the place at the moment. But that would be good enough to test. Oh, there's my radio complaining at me. Okay. What next? Need to hook this up to this. Looks like cut away the heat shrink and go from there. Suppose I should shut this box before I tip all the bits on the floor. Crikey, this stuff's tough. See what we got here. Slightly dodgy soldering, but it'll do. Alright, so that's going to want to come down across there, and then kind of along there a bit, and then about that long. Yeah. Cut that off there. Bit of heat shrink. A few bits of that. And some power on the heat gun. Need one more. There's the end. Desolder these and get some heat shrink on. Is he done? There he goes. Horrible connectors. I'm learning new stuff, and that is just good. Yeah. There's always stuff to learn. So, oh, how does it go? The more you learn, the more you realise there is to learn, or whatever it is. Whatever the saying is, I can't remember. What? Insulation split. Can I rescue this connector? Yeah. Have I got another one in my box? Got a housing. That would be a no. Oh, have to make do. So that. Some of this. Put it on the floor. Okay. Let's use some fresh flux, I think. Bit on there. Should do it. See if I can get that on there. What does this look like? Not going to be pretty. Ow, it's hot. Yeah, it'll work though. Let that cool down. What time have we got? It's 5 to midnight. It's true. Oh, that's better. Oops, overshot. Put that on there. Some more strange music. Flux. Let's see if I solder these without them flying apart. Pretty good. Alright, now for the dodgy wire. Oh, it's flowing. At least with these trucks there's not much current involved, so it doesn't matter if the solder connections are a bit iffy. Right, slide that over and heat her up. Not too dreadful. I think I've snookered myself though. I have to desolder from the board so I can run the wires up. Oops. Never mind. That's a minor thing. Alright, where do we want this to go then? Needs to go under there and then up the other side somehow. Oh, got one of the wires. Where'd the other one go? There we are. 3. So that goes down there, tucks in there. Make sure there's plenty of excess. Think I'll put that across there. Tuck it in there. Tuck that down there. Yeah, that'll be alright. Put a bit of extra flux on the board because it's going to be dried out. Ground up the top. Power on the bottom. Tie out the way. Pretty good. What's next? Suppose we need to set a memory card up. So I'm going to need my laptop. So I'll be back in a minute with a laptop. Right, let's sort this memory card out with some files. There is the memory card. There it is, I've buried it. Alright. I hate these packages. One memory card. I need the adapter so I can plug it into the laptop. And these cards don't need to be anything special, just whatever is cheapest. They don't need to be fast. And you only need about 30-40 megs of space. That'll do. So where's a card reader? There he is. Put that in there. Alright, so first need to go to that. An SD card, which is, oh, it's currently FAT32, so it should just work. That's handy, because if the card's exFAT, then it can't read it. It needs to be FAT32 or FAT16, but that's pretty rare these days. So if I go to my server, look in my documents, there's a folder called Mojo, so I just drag that onto the card and say copy. Oh, new person. Lucky G, I suppose, with Q's. Hello, hi. Oh, and follow. Great stuff. Cheers. So, now we've got all the files on here. I suppose, just for fun, if I go into one of these directories that's on the card, I can do, what's a good one? Horn, if I turn the volume up. That would be a Christmas horn that I forgot I put on the card. So I need to get rid of that one. That was Alice Cooper, I think, or something. You being silly. So that should be the proper one. There you go. So that's just a WAV file on the memory card. Bog standard stuff. Alright, now I need to set this guy up. So what's this? I have a TRX4 RC car. Yeah, TRX4s are rather good. Yeah, man. Alright. So let's see if we can work this out. Headlights. Main lights. Okay. Eight. So you need to be the Indy Mark L. You need to be Indy Mark R. What else we got? 5 and 6 is L Indy and R Indy. So you're Indy L. Indy R. Let's clear these so I don't confuse myself. So let's say make that aux 1. What else have we got? Head side aux 1 A B. Let's make that a DRL light. Missed. Next one is that one, so make that a proper fog light. Ooh, missed one somewhere. Well, I'm going to put those in the wrong place. I'll put those in the wrong place. Oops. They need to be in that one. And that one. That means that one is bumper bar. Let's make you aux 2. Okay. Ooh, going to sleep. Boom, boom, boom. So now onto that one. So that's tail. So that wants to be tail brake. Next, got reverse. Reverse. Next one is left Indy. Indy L. Indy R. Then we've got number plate. Now the number plate wants to be on with the headlights. So we'll put that on headlight. 14 and 15 aren't currently connected. So we'll make those blank. So get in there. And then channels. How did I hook those up now? Indicators, throttle. So what did I connect to number 3? One thing I didn't write down. Number 3 is the gearbox. So number 3 is gear. Input 4 is the coupler. Number 5, I think that was a horn. That's this one. There, which is channel 2, which is indeed the horn. That's correct. Which means number 6 is going to be ink deck. Save. So that's all the connections laid out. Now we need to set up some modes. So mode 0 is off. Next we've got reverse brake indicator, tail reverse brake indicator side marker, that's okay. We need the DRL somewhere. So we'll add DRL to these as well. Copy. Oops, paste. 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 Paste and paste. Tail reverse brake indie side marker. Side tail reverse brake indie side DRL. That's got head. Yeah, that's alright. Head, tail, this, that and the other, and fog. Now, what do I need on? Which is the light bar? Light bar is 7, which is aux 2. So fog, aux 2, aux 1, aux 2, well, that'll probably do. And that will be on already, so that will probably work. There's only one way to find out. So if we save it and we eject the card, didn't want to let go. Find somewhere for that. On the floor, why not? Come on, don't be awkward. Ah, stupid adapter. If in doubt, use a pair of pliers. Still won't come out. Cheap, nasty rubbish. What's it hung up on? It's permanently going to be in there forever. Hey. Stupid adapter. Don't like that. Don't like it at all. Right. So the memory card then should just slot in there. Front bumper. Do I push these in? No. Better do that quickly. Tell you what, I'm going to need a battery in a minute. And I bet I don't have one up here. Right, so that one should go in the bottommost slot. And this one should go above it. Like so. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Right, I need to get a battery from downstairs. I think. I don't think. Yeah, they're all downstairs. Okay, battery. So I need to go under the back so it doesn't drive off if it all goes wrong. So nothing's fused, nothing's limiting current, so if it all goes wrong, it will go wrong with some style. Check the polarity, double check, minus plus, red and black. That's red and black all the way through. All the signal pins on there go to the right side. Don't get around there. Yeah. We should be alright. Famous last words. I don't know if the switch is on or off. So. No lights. Could be the battery's flat. This is why it's useful to have a power supply to power it up with, because then you can see the current everything's drawing as well. Got 8 volts. So it should do something. Now I've had this tested for power. There's no short, because things would get very hot very quickly. So let's flick that switch. Nope, radio's alive now. So this board is not happy. But there's no smoke, so it can't be that unhappy. So let's see if we can do a quick voltage test here and there. So, I think I know what the problem might be. Got volts coming in. One of these is the voltage out, probably that one. Can't get a good connection on that. So that will be V in to one of these two. That one. Ooh. So that's seeing. That's 3.3 volts out. That's 5 volts. So all the voltages are there. So it's probably. I need to take one of these resistors off, if I remember rightly. Okay. But which one? That's the question, because I can't remember. Where have I got a circuit? Okay. So I've looked at one of my other trucks, which has a working board in, so I know which resistor I need to remove. This is a problem with using prototypes. Quite often they're not quite 100%. Ooh. Grim 126, what you're making? I'm wiring up one of my advanced light controller boards for one of my friend's trucks. Just got a few little problems where things aren't quite working to plan, but you know. Pull that resistor off. Right. Let's try this again. Still not seeing any lights. That all works. So what could be wrong? So it flashed the chip earlier on okay. So one side of this should be 3 volts. Can't see because I've got my arm over the display. Yeah, 3.26. So the processor's got power. So if the processor's got power, my light should be coming on, and they're not. These are all the right way around, got signals on the top. So could it be the card? If I measure the card supply, get 3.3 volts. If I go up here, that should be ground. Oops. 2 volts, 2.3, 5. So apparently we're clocking data on there. So it should be alive. Why doesn't it work? Absolutely nothing on the LED pins, which suggests the processor is not processing. So let's take the memory card out. Which is stuck. Okay. Now try powering it up. Oh, and now we've got a red flashing light. So that would suggest it couldn't read off the memory card. That's not good. Yeah, green light. So it's a memory card error. Awesome. So, turn off RX. Whoops. So I think that's going to be it for tonight. Yeah. So what I'll do is tomorrow probably I'll see if I can fix this fault and get the board working with the memory card. And I don't know whether it will be tomorrow evening or the day after or something like that, but we'll probably have another stream where we where we finish putting all the lights together, and on the body, on the cab, we've got the speaker, the roof light and the beacon light on the roof to wire up, and there's also a plate on the back that needs to wire up to something, and there's also a light up plate in the cab. So we'll wire all those up so they turn on and off, and then it should all work and we should be able to make lots of annoying noises with it, with the horn and the reverse beeper and all that kind of stuff. So that will be fun. So yeah, in the meantime then, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. Whoever's left, I don't know who's left. Let's have a look who's left. Stream manager. Refresh. Cool, gone over 3 hours. That's pretty good. 4 viewers. Hello 4 viewers. Soon to be goodbye. Oh, so there's a lot more users in here. Crikey. Another TTV viewer. Nice. Aten, Krishovi 1990, Commander Root, seen you before, E-Paradise, Electrical Longboard, cool, Lurks, fine, Windsock, nice, Your Andri, one or the other, yeah. Anyway, cheers for watching. This will be up as a VOD, or most of it will be up as a VOD on the YouTube channel at some point. So if you want to watch all of it, all 3 hours straight, then you'll be quite welcome to. So, yep, cheers, thanks, see you next time. Hopefully we can finish it. Bye guys.